I'm Dave Greenwood, and this is Overcoming Distractions. If you are an adult with ADHD, a busy professional, an entrepreneur, a high achiever, or just need some strategies to navigate your adult ADHD, you're in the right place. Who am I? I'm an entrepreneur with ADHD and the author of 2 books, Overcoming Distractions and Overcoming Burnout. I coach and mentor people just like you, and together we navigate the ups and downs of adult ADHD. From getting out of our own way to helping people just like you thrive in the workplace. That's what I do. Want more info on working with me? Hit overcomingdistractions.com. Ready? Let's get to today's podcast. All right, gang, we are back with another explosive and engaging episode of Overcoming Distractions. And as Mr. Announcer says, if you're a busy adult with ADHD, you're trying to juggle a demanding career, you're a high achiever, you're an entrepreneur with ADHD, you got a lot of stuff going on in your personal life, you are overwhelmed, lack of energy, you name it. If you are dealing with all those things that many of us adults with ADHD have challenges with from time to time, you're in the right place. We try to give you actionable items every single time we fire up the microphone here. And I want you to walk away with things that you can try and implement in your life almost immediately. I also want you to know that if you have some particular issues and you need some one-on-one time, I am here as well, and you just need to hit overcomingdistractions.com. Right on the homepage, there's a button to have a 15-minute chat with me by Zoom, see if we're a good fit, and see if you and I can solve some problems together. So, all right, we're going to talk today about something that every busy professional with ADHD, I believe, should be doing, and that is time blocking. The title said it all. One massive habit that changed the way I manage my time and energy, and it's time blocking. Now, you can go ahead and tell me you've tried it and it didn't work, but I'm here to tell you that if you give it enough time and tinker with it a little bit, it can be one of your best friends for getting stuff done, lowering your stress, and feeling more fulfilled. I'm telling you, all right? Just blocking out time, let's be clear, is not going to miraculously change your world. But doing it the right way, I think, can change your world. You know, it's like buying that gym membership and never going. And then you wonder why you haven't lost any weight, or you haven't, felt better or had more energy. I mean, what do you think's going to happen, right? Unless you put some work into it. And it's the same with time blocking. But here's the thing. I know from being a busy entrepreneur and in the past, an executive, having ADHD, that long stretches of time, uninterrupted, can be a game changer when it comes to getting shit done. I know it for a fact. And when I've worked one-on-one with people and we start to get into this and we really start to come up with some structure for blocking out time, most people tell me, Dave, it's a world of difference. So, I'm not one that can work for something on 30 minutes here and 30 minutes there when it is a larger project. I need to lose myself in it. And the same goes for regular things or a bunch of little tasks that you just need to get done. And you have people bugging you and clients bugging you and the phone ringing and you're called to put out a fire or what have you, or your boss who's already working in chaos, wants you to drop everything. All right. I believe we do our best work when we are uninterrupted for longer periods of time. I know it. So let me tell you how time blocking can actually work for you. Let's systemize this, all right? Number one, I always tell people you got to assess your schedule. And one of the simplest things I tell people to do to get started is just close your door, open up your calendar, and just stare at it. Look at all the commitments you have. Go back and forth between a few weeks. This is where you're going to start to kind of figure out what your week looks like and how you can actually claim back some of this time for yourself. I want you to identify some patterns, maybe those frequent interruptions, some of those things, tasks, whatever that maybe consume the most of your time. Other patterns in meetings, so to speak, like is there a Monday morning meeting every Monday or every other Monday or whatever the day is, right? Okay. But you got to identify kind of where the patterns are in your schedule, if there are any. You also, when you're assessing this, you got to look at your priorities. You got to identify those. What are the most important projects and tasks that kind of go with your goals and the responsibilities of your current position? If you're an entrepreneur, that could be in the hundreds. Okay, I'm just saying, been there. So once you do that, next thing I think is a smart, second step is to go ahead and, set those goals, set those priorities. And I leave this up to you, but I think some of the more, important ways you can do that or not important, but effective ways is to categorize these tasks. Maybe it's by urgency, it's by important, it's by the amount of time you think you need. Is it a multi-day project, whatever. But I really think that one of your goals should be claiming as much time as you can for the things that take you longer or recurring types of tasks and projects. Okay, say you're an entrepreneur, you're a solopreneur, you got to invoice. Maybe you got to invoice every week, every 2 weeks. Maybe you're doing payroll, these things you cannot miss, right? Okay, because you'll notice them almost immediately, those types of things. The other thing, and maybe most importantly, your priorities, if something is mission critical to your business or your job or your career, these should take priority. Like I said, the payroll, the invoicing, the what have you, the sending out proposals. If you're an entrepreneur, but blocking out that time. Let's be clear. It's a great first step. Understanding what you're going to do at that time is absolutely essential. And I think that's where some people come to me and go, well, I tried blocking out time and it didn't work. Well, you had no idea what you were going to do with it. So what do you think's going to happen? Next, you're gonna start to kind of create that time blocking schedule, if you will, and block out the specific times. Allocate those specific blocks of times that you can focus on your work, your important tasks and projects. Put it in the calendar. Use a planner. I don't, if you've heard me or you've even worked with me, you understand that I don't care what you use as long as it's effective. If it's a piece of paper, if it's a planner, if it's Outlook or Gmail or whatever that suite is that works for you. So next, and I think this is important, and this comes into play when you really, when you can really block out a huge chunk of time, is make sure you kind of put some buffer times in there, kind of between tasks. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Get up, move around. Don't forget to eat. Okay, refresh your coffee, get some energy. Maybe you got to take a quick walk just to refresh your brain a little bit. That I think is important as well. So I think it's awesome we can sit at our desk and get a lot of shit done, but we also need to give our brain a little bit of a break there. So follow your energy so you can block out the times a day where you can focus the best and have that energy. When do you do your best work? Is it the morning? Is it the afternoon? Is it after lunch? Whatever it may be. So I know this may not work for all of you, but my ultimate goal has been over the years to block out entire days to get stuff done. You can really get in the zone, and you also have kind of plenty of runway ahead of you when you don't have a meeting or something else like hanging over your head. I think it's an awesome feeling. So, but the best way to do this is to find the days where there are less interruptions and possibly no meetings. So, all right, next. Great, you blocked out time. Now you need to tell people, right? Communicate that. Set those boundaries. Tell your team members or colleagues that that you are unavailable, that this is the time you have blocked out to get stuff done. If you're using that shared calendar, make that blocked out time visible. Call it whatever you want, okay? Call it Dave's unavailable. I don't care, okay? But make sure you communicate that. So if you're in a supervisory role, it might be a little easier, but communicate that you're not available. Or for meetings or interruptions, unless it's absolutely urgent. And honestly, we should do a whole podcast on what's urgent and what isn't. But and if you work for yourself, you're an entrepreneur, just communicate with clients that you're just not available at certain times or days. I know, and I was so guilty of this before, where I had PR clients and marketing clients years ago, and they said, I'm available, on this day and time. And you're like, fine, when you actually had stuff done, and then you move that commitment. You have to make that decision yourself, but try to stick to it as much as you can. Next, oh my God, our big old word, distractions, right? Focus environment. It's like super important for us. We could block out time. Now we know what we did with it. Now we got to minimize those distractions to the best of our ability and the best of our commitments, so to speak, like family commitments and what have you. So if you can turn off notifications, if you can even shut off your email, just shut it down for a period of time. If you're in an environment where you still have background noise, grab some noise-canceling headphones. Find a quiet space like a conference room, whatever. If you're working remotely, try and create an environment in your home where there are less distractions. And also, I think what helps with distractions is to use our available technology wisely. Use a timer, Pomodoro technique. Yeah. I know you tried it. You told me you don't think it worked. Again, with blocking out time, try it again. Give it its due diligence, because I believe that it can kind of gamify your work, and it can really help you when you actually do have a lot of time to actually get stuff done. If you got to set up a website blocker or what have you, do it, okay? And again, understand what you want to do, because having a game plan is going to minimize those potential distractions. Next, and I think super important, okay, because, we blocked out time, it's working, and then something happens, okay, and then we're like, that didn't work. Well, no, it did work, but something happened in your life. Maybe some commitments changed. Maybe the kids were off for summer school break and now they're going back to school, and you got to change your routine a little bit. Maybe you got to drop them off. Maybe you got to pick them up, what have you. Okay, so you need to constantly review and adjust accordingly. I think it's actually wise to even just take a look at this weekly. At the end of the week, look at your schedule, see what worked, what didn't. Adjust those time blocks. It can be the hour, it can be the day. But you got to stay a little flexible to compensate for other things going on in your life or your business. Again, you're working at a marketing agency and you take on this big client and they can only meet Tuesdays. All right, well, you're going to have to adjust. The same thing if you're an entrepreneur. Okay, you take on a big client. I can only meet on this day. All right, well, there's a lot of money at stake. I'm gonna have to bend a little bit. So I think there's always room for adjustment and improvement. So next, self-discipline. I know, dun dun dun. This is hard for us. I know it is, but you gotta stick to your schedule as best you can. Stick to those blocks of time as closely as you possibly can. I know it takes practice. I know it takes discipline. But I think once you see the results and you get to an end of the week and you go, wow, I got stuff done. I made minimal mistakes. I feel good. I don't feel stressed out at night. I'm able to go home and enjoy because I actually got stuff done. Okay? That's where that discipline comes in, is reminding yourself that it actually did work and the good feeling that you possibly get out of it. So, but you have to try hard to keep that word to yourself, okay? There are boundaries with others and there are boundaries with yourself, okay? And you need to keep your word to yourself if you're going to make this work. Avoid multitasking, okay? You know what? Multitasking doesn't work. Don't tell me you multitask. You're switching tasks. But if you're blocking out good chunks of time, try not to try and do 10 things at once, okay? Because that just defeats the purpose of actually blocking out time and having an environment where you can actually focus on getting stuff done and being efficient. And I would say the last thing is leverage any tools that you have. We just alluded to this briefly, but the Google Calendar, the Outlook, make sure you're visualizing those time blocks. Color code the shit out of your calendar, okay? Make sure that blocked out time is, I don't care what color it is, red, purple, whatever, all right? Use it. If you have the ability to use, some type of task management or workflow, such as Asana or Todoist or anything like that, and you're a digital type of person, use it to the best of your ability. And again, I go back to maximizing the time you can by maybe just giving the Pomodoro technique another good college try, okay? That, my friends, is what is going to make one of the things that was a game changer for me, a game changer for you. I know everybody's different. I know everybody has different commitments in their job, in their personal life. You have different working environments. And if you want to book some time and work some of these things through with me, that maybe we can problem solve together, I would be more than happy to chat with you for a few minutes to see if we are a good fit. So just hit overcomingdistractions.com. Click on that little button that says book a 15-minute chat with me, see if we're a good fit, and I would be honored to work side by side with you to solve some problems. So, anywho, all right, gang, I hope that helps. Give it a good try, and I'll catch you next time.